On Joe Biden today as he unveils his stimulus plan, and we're hearing that it could cost somewhere in the ballpark of $2 trillion. For more on that plan, let's bring in our panel. Washington Times opinion editor Charlie Hurt.
This is pretty funny. Look at this B-roll, dude.
For more on that.
Biden's incredibly expensive plan. He's getting vaccinated. What does this expensive plan entail? Giving black people money. What does this picture tell you? Because all of this is like, this is all deliberate. Like they chose that B-roll. That didn't manifest on that their corner. That graphic was chosen.
On that plan, let's bring in our panel. Washington.
That's so funny.
Times opinion editor Charlie Hurt and former Obama economic advisor Robert Wolf. Robert, what can you tell us that you know about this plan? Because it looks like he's going to go big.
Uh-oh, canceled. Autism Speaks hoodie.
Well, first, the timing couldn't be better because, as numerous economists says, there's no economic health without public health. We're having the pandemic spiral out of control. 1 in 5 businesses are closing. And today's jobless numbers were horrendous. We have 18 million people seeking unemployment assistance. So it has to be big. It has to be bold. It needs more direct payments. It needs food insecurity. We need to help state and local communities with EMT and health. And listen, we're in dire straits right now. And there is no super V-shaped recovery that this Trump administration talked about nonstop. It's just the opposite.
Well, Bernie Sanders is teasing his power ahead of the Senate Budget Committee, Charlie. This is the political headline. Aggressive Bernie Sanders on his big plans as budget chair. And he is really teasing his power and influence in this interview, saying, quote, I'm going to use reconciliation in an aggressive a way as I possibly can to address the terrible health and economic crises.
I guess, like, if you say aggressive in that tone, like you can make it seem like this 900-year-old Jewish man who just wants to give people healthcare in the middle of a fucking pandemic is scary. You know what I mean? It's just like, imagine building an entire worldview around how fucking brave and strong and macho you are, and then being terrified of a 900-year-old man who just wants to give people healthcare. Like, that's good. Very scary. When I think of terrifying people, I think of Bernie Sanders or, I don't know, black people getting healthcare. These are things I'm terrified of. I'm a Republican, a normal Republican, of course.
Facing working people today. So $2 trillion plan. Just how big may Bernie Sanders go with this?
Wait, he means canceled by the Fox viewers because they hate disabled people, I think? No, Autism Speaks is a controversial organization. I used to work with them too, full disclosure. But part of it is because they see, like, I think, I don't know, I'm not on the meta, but I think part of it is literally because they believe that, like, autism is a problem, not like as something to be managed, but a problem to be, like, a disease to be cured or something, right? And they say that it's controversial for that reason. They're cure-oriented. Autism is actually hated by autistic people. They want to cure autism, and they think it's a disease. Yeah, rather than something that is a condition to be managed and increase people's like understanding and welcome people's autism into regular society without, like, hurting them. I think I did a decent enough explanation on that. Like, it's supposed to be something to be managed, not a disease to be cured. I think that's what it is. Like, yeah, without stigmatizing the condition. Don't make jokes like that when I can't tell if you're baiting or not. No, the disease from the vaccine thing is fucking bullshit. I'm not sure you can cure brains. I think you can, and I think we will eventually get to a point where we can, I guess, cure or change everything. I'm not necessarily against the idea of being able to reformat your brain so you don't have to, like, you know, live with depression, for example. And if you would like to, I'm not against yeah, I mean, yes, I am on board with gene editing. If you guys were unaware that this is a pro science and pro gene editing broadcast, for sure. Sorry, guys. That's just the case. Autism Self-Advocacy Network is excellent. Shut the fuck up. Is there really it's really called Hasan? Or are you joking? Hasan? Buggo? Would you edit your head to be bigger if it was possible? Gene editing will only be accessible to rich people over a long enough time span. Rich people could literally become a different breed. Yeah, that's a separate socioeconomic problem, but we can't fucking stop science from advancing just because, like, poor people won't have access to it. Sorry, dude, we can't make, like, HIV manageable because poor people won't have access to it is, like, a ridiculous take, you know what I mean? No, these are two separate issues. One issue, don't say get fucked poor people. No, those are two entirely separate issues. One issue is, like, limiting scientific achievements in the field of medicine, which I'm not in support of. The other is limiting access to that scientific achievement by rationing it out to those who can pay for it, which I'm not in support of. Like, but using the socioeconomic conditions as a cudgel to stand against scientific accomplishments is a really fucking dumb Luddite take. And I don't agree with it. No, the anti-science people don't say let's not do this because of poor people. They say instead we can't play God. Yeah, I know. Can you see how that could become a problem ethically, though? Yeah. I can. I mean, that's a problem ethically. So is getting an abortion because you think that because you find out that your child is going to have a significant life-altering disability. That is an ethical conundrum. That is a moral conundrum. Is it not? No, I'm fucking not pro-life at all. I'm pro-choice. No, abort. Abortable all day. Fuck yeah. Abort, euthanize. I don't give a shit. You can already do it somewhat with in vitro fertilization. My mom did that to make sure my siblings didn't get Lee-Fraumeni syndrome, predisposition to a wide range of certain off-rare cancers. This is due to a change mutation in a tumor suppressor gene known as TP53. Yeah. There's plenty of incredible utility for gene editing. And a lot of that revolves around straight up destroying genetic dispositions to certain disabilities or certain diseases. Cancer. Bitch, you want your children to have the Alzheimer's? I don't want my fucking children to have Alzheimer's. My grandparents, my grandmother has it. Like, I'm probably gonna have it. My parents are probably gonna have it. Do you think I want my children to have that shit? No. I have friends whose fucking parents have ALS. Like, this is why religion is against science. More importantly than Alzheimer's and ALS, though, balding. I'm just trying to change the pace of the conversation back to a lighter place, okay? So we don't get stuck on a dark note there, thinking about our meaningless existence. Bro, I have seen that emote. It's my favorite and one of my favorites. But diseases make us unique? What? No, bitch. I don't want Alzheimer's, okay? I'll be non-unique. You understand? It's got to be a joke, right? That's a joke. That was definitely a joke. That person was joking. There's no fucking way. There's already a cure for balding. It's called feminizing HRT and underbite, and all men will be feminized. But I like, but I like being masculine. This is actually a legitimate, like, this is kind of a legitimate bargain that men over a certain age have to actually make. Like, some level of feminization is required if you want to, like, you have to literally limit, like, suppress DHT, a form of testosterone, in an effort to, one, make your prostate smaller so you get fucking prostate cancer, and two, to have luscious locks. Yeah, no, I'll take getting rid of my debilitating Crohn's disease if it means I'm less unique. Yeah, it's fucking nuts to people. I mean, people that say diseases make you unique, I feel like are the types of people who don't have any, like, I mean, they're very fortunate people that don't have anything like super significant in their gene pool. Not disagreeing with the potential gene editing, but the technology isn't entirely perfected yet in the sense that its undesired effects are still possible. Yeah, of course. The science has to go a long way to go before we start eating away diseases. Certainly. Aren't you afraid of a future where we have genetic apartheid, revolution prior to the rise of AI, drone warfare? Gene editing is absolutely necessary. I think what's going to end up happening is, like, rich people are going to have, like, rich men are going to have, like, massive cocks and luscious locks, and rich women are going to have, like, fat titties and asses and no waistline. Same with the men too. Like, I think it's the gene editing part of it is going to be purely aesthetic, and there are going to be cheaper alternatives of gene editing for poorer people that will still ultimately eradicate certain problems. It'll take some time, but it's kind of like that is such as the case of any sort of technological achievement under capitalism. Is the wealthy people get it. I mean, this is the argument that neoliberals make, right? The ultimate slowly but surely trickling down of technological achievements versus like everyone just getting access to it later down the line. Like, you don't have to be Magic Johnson now to deal with AIDS. But 20 years ago, you had to literally be Magic Johnson to deal with AIDS. You understand? Well, unless you fucking live in America, in which case you still literally need to be Magic Johnson. You're fucked. If you don't live in a social democracy, then you're Magic Johnson, or else you're fucked. But can you compare this to the fight against AIDS? The rich people who have money basically have AIDS under control, but people in Africa, people in America also still, like in the wealthiest nation on earth, are still getting decimated by AIDS as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is still a huge issue. You're literally baiting chat genetic modifications in a capital-based society will literally fuck us over. I legitimately don't understand what you're failing to see here, what I'm saying. most of the genetic modifications are going to be purely aesthetic. The ones that are like, in the first stage, genetic modification will, and is already happening, will be only available to the wealthy, even when it comes to altering your genes or gene editing so that you don't have like debilitating diseases or shit like that. But then later down the line, it's going to be something that is available to wealthy people, the aesthetic shit, and poorer people will have access to shittier versions of it. But that is entirely about the organization of the economy and not about technological achievement in general. And as far as like transhumanism and shit goes, like I love sci-fi. I grew up with this shit. I've dreamt about this my entire life. I don't really talk about it too much, but I'm fully on board with all of that. Even though the Elon Musk stuff scares the shit out of me. And we're nowhere near like brain altering as we are with like gene editing. How do I know if Finestra is fucking with my emotions? I pick the mic. I don't know, dude. Okay, that's what I'm saying. The rich will keep gene editing out of the hands of the poor, similar to healthcare now, and it might ever get in the hands of the common man. What if they can modify their intelligence or the kids' intelligence? Then we have a bunch of rich prick Einsteins devising new ways to fuck us over every day. Okay, my friend. Right now, what you are describing is the current pre-existing order of things, okay? This is how the order of things are. Would you ever in a million fucking years be like, sorry, we should, if there was a cure for cancer tomorrow, would you ever be like, no, we can't have the cure for cancer because poor people are not going to be able to get it? No, that doesn't happen. It's already existing. It's this two-tiered medical system already exists, okay? But that's not a counter to, I don't know, developing insulin or devising new ways of allowing people to, devise new ways of treatment. The way to fix that disparity is socialized medicine, not by fucking saying we shouldn't have gene editing or some shit. It's kind of like this. Why do most American working class people abhor or are fearful of AI and technological achievements that literally take away unfulfilling and labor-intensive menial tasks? Because that eliminates their job opportunities in those fields, right? Automation eliminates jobs that humans used to do. But that's not a problem with automation. That's a problem with capitalism. That's a problem with the way that wealth, that's a problem with the way that corporations work in this society. That's a problem with wealth distribution in this society. That's a problem with the profit margin, or rather the profits increasing alongside productivity increasing, whereas wages remaining stagnant. A worker today is, I don't know what the exact calculation is, but a worker today in this day and age is probably 20 times more productive than a worker 20 years ago or 40 years ago. You're on your phone. You have access to the internet nearly everywhere you go. That increases your productivity, even if you're doing like fucking office jobs or whatever. That increases your productivity tenfold. That means your profit, the corporation that you work for, is increasing their profits tenfold. And yet your wages are pretty much the fucking same and not adjusted to inflation even. That's because every new form of automation is used as a way to increase the profit margin for those who own stocks in the corporations, for those who actually own the capital itself. Gene editing is performed at the embryonic stage, hence the design or baby eugenics discussion. You're not curing your own brain or making your pee big. You're doing that to your kid. Kind of sus. Why is that sus? It's absolutely not sus. I would go so far as to say that it's literally the most human thing to want a better future for your children. It's incredibly human to want to have children, and some don't, and that's fine. But it's very normal to want to have children. And it's super normal to want to make sure that they have a fucking better future than a experience that you had. Why the fuck do people, like, why do you work or do anything then? Like, outside of survival, a big part of the reason why you fucking work and secure yourself is to secure a better future for your children. I think people are just looking at different ways of. We went into like a crazy tangent here on gene editing and transhumanism, but I think people are just looking at different ways of making this seem worse than it is, or looking for reasons as to why it could be bad. And it's not necessarily a horrible thought experiment, because this is how you ultimately figure out potential problems within within like new forms of technology and shit like that. But gene editing is good. The first immortal has already been born. No. It's like changing your kid's appearance or some shit is really shallow and would make me feel like my parents wouldn't love me if I wasn't pretty. It's freaky. What? I legitimately feel like a lot of those takes stem from how human we are, and it's a genuine limitation. Like it's a legitimate limitation. That it's like an actual insecurity that you need to look within yourself. A lot of this stuff revolves around a lot of these takes quite literally revolve around our fear that, like, well, if you want to look for, I mean, even with Autism Speaks, like they are looking for a cure instead of like managing autism. Right? So it's people that currently have autism saying, well, what the fuck? You want to cure this thing that like I have? You're making me seem like I'm an aberration. When in reality, I think that opportunity, if there was one, should be given to people if they want to. I think it's ridiculous to limit people from wanting to change certain things about their children. Every part of childbirth is not to become too much of an antinatalist here, but literally every part of fucking childbirth revolves around a selfish act. You are bringing a life onto this planet. It's a very normal thing that humans do, but you're straight up bringing a life onto this planet that did not consent to be born. Did you consent to be born? No. Did I consent to be born? No. And there is a philosophical point of view here called antinatalism that is literally the heart of this argument. So in its essence, you never consented to be you never consented to be born. You might like it, you might hate it, but you ultimately never consented to be born. So, and just like you never consent when you're 18 years old, all the way up to being 18 years old, a lot of your freedoms are limited. I mean, anarchists might get mad at me for saying this, or some might, but yeah, of course, gene editing is in a similar capacity. It is a very selfish act to bring in life onto this planet, but I'm still interested in doing it. Anyway, let's move on from this.
Yeah, well, this is the perennial problem with Washington, is that they believe that the federal government is the answer to all problems. Of course, it's not. In fact, it's usually part of the problem. Government is often part of the problem. One of the reasons that the economy is in such is so threatened right now is because of the government-mandated shutdowns around the country, which is a very bad, and you know why we're spending this time talking about impeachment, by the way, instead of dealing with some of those issues is sort of beyond me. But the idea that was a very alarming interview with Bernie Sanders. You know, the whole point of budget reconciliation.
Bro, this is crazy. This is absolute madness. Like, this is an argument about what to do with the economy. The question is, what do you think about Democrats' proposal on dealing with the looming economic crisis as a consequence of COVID? And his answer is, why are we not talking about the economy? It's so stupid that, like, even the idiotic Fox News watchers would or should at the very least recognize that, like, wait a minute. But the entire premise of this argument, entire conversation revolves around what the Democrats are trying to do with the economy. It's not like they're not talking about impeachment right now. They're just like this news piece is just about the economy. And the reason why he can't say that is because in many ways, one of the worst things that Donald Trump did is he allowed for a brief moment for Republicans to believe that a better future is possible, that the government can give them good things. And it's not just a burden, and it's not just like someone who's stealing your taxes. The 2K checks and his constant, like, left-wing economic populism adjacent rhetoric, even though it was bullshit and he never wanted to act on it, was a terrifying thought for Republicans, because their entire worldview revolves around starving the beast and not letting people believe that the government can do something good for them, whether it be giving them $2,000 in direct cash or whatever the fuck you want to tack on to that proposal. Biden did not walk back the 2K checks. He said he's going to do $1,400, which with the $600 literally completes the 2K checks. That's the argument that they were already making, and that's exactly what the argument that they're following on. Stop being fucking annoying. They never said it's going to be $2,400. They said it was going to be $2,000. Come the fuck on, guys. Oh. Is math hard? Like, or did I? Oh, they gave 600, not 400. Sorry, $2,600. Sorry, I did it wrong too. But they said 2K, like as in 2K total. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Listen. Do I believe personally that you deserve more than 2K? Abso-fucking-lutely. I do. Do I believe that $1,400 even, or $2,000 even, is not enough? Certainly. But it's so fucking dumb to just be like, oh, well, they promised 2K, but now they're just doing, you know, 1,400. It's like, dude, I wonder why they're doing 1,400. Maybe because the 600 was already agreed upon, and it was supposed to be a total of $2,000. Hopefully it'll be recurring. This looks bad for Democrats. Yeah, it looks bad for Democrats if you're a fucking moron, dude. I'm sorry. Like, and there's a lot of people apparently who are very frustrated with this. You can make an argument as to why the $2,000 is not enough, which is fine. But you can't say, they promised 2K and they're now only giving us 1,400. What? It's almost like it's additional on top of the 600 to complete it to $2,000. It only looks bad if you're fucking dumb. He said, if you elect Ossoff and Warnock, $2,000 checks are going out the door. Yes. But the 600 of that too. Oh my God, what is happening to my audience? Why? What have I done? What have I done? Where have I gone wrong that like you guys are being so fucking, are you being purposely obtuse? Like, is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing? This is really the fucking argument that you're going to make? Like a pure demonstration that you just like can't math? And I say this as I'm like, I can't math either. Why do you have to fucking literally become the leftist meme that like leftists don't understand math and like leftists are ridiculous on your own, like willingly? You should be smarter than this and shit on others when they fucking try to say like, oh, leftists are so dumb. They're upset that Biden is only doing 2,000 or only doing 1,400 when he said he would do $2,000. Do you think dependents will be included this time? It's supposed to be. It was originally in the 2K proposal. The 2K Cash Act proposal was a proposal that was going to increase the already existing $600 payments to $2,000. A $1,400 payment is literally a continuation of that original promise. If you're gonna fucking LARP as like an idiot, I mean, if you're gonna be a leftist, the least you can do is like straight up fucking recognize that you're being a dumbass on purpose. Why are you saying think Cash App? Oh, Cash App.
It's a tool to make small tweaks to budgets that goes around the normal governing process. The idea that Bernie Sanders wants to use a tool like that to run roughshod over the minority, which isn't even the minority, by the way, it's a 50-50 Senate, but to run over the minority as opposed to building a coalition in order to give free health care to illegal aliens is that tells you all you need to know about where these people are and what these people are willing to do.
Yeah, illegal aliens. They're getting it, dude. Blah, blah, blah. Like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Yo, that's what they're gonna say. It's so stupid. Like, the argument is like, oh, they want to give. Oh, do you get fucking money? Well, black people get it too. Do you get fucking healthcare? Well, black and brown people get it too. Do you get money? Black people get it too. Was literally at the heart of like what Lee Atwater described as the continuation of the Southern strategy and a continuation of like basically being able to say the N-word without saying the N-word in public. Okay. Oh, we got to cut welfare and entitlements because, you know, blacks are getting them. And this is the same shit. Undocumented immigrants are getting these proposals too. Like you're helping some bad poor people because we've created a world in which like those people are bad poor people and not just regular poor people. Okay. So now like, oh yeah, no, definitely say no to the money because bad poor people might get it too. It's so dumb. And a lot of people unironically do subscribe to that. But I believe that the number of people that subscribe to that worldview would be far smaller if there was a legitimate and continued opposition in the form of counter messaging from the Democratic Party that showed that reality to people, saying, listen, do you want health care? Everybody gets it, okay? There's no bad poor people. Republicans get health care. Democrats get health care. Undocumented immigrants get health care. Like, these are people that are just living on U.S. soil that have been here for fucking years and years and years. It is so stupid to assume that, like, they do not deserve the same kind of help from the government that they pay for. It's so dumb, but Democrats don't do that, unfortunately. They're too busy being like, well, Republicans are racist and also free market solutions are not that bad as long as you implement those free market solutions, but do it in a way that is not bad and not mean. It's like when people always talk about not giving people welfare because people abuse the system. Yeah, exactly.
and whose rights they're willing to trample on in order to get their agenda through. And of course, it's why they've forever loved using the courts to get their crazy agenda through. The good news is
projection, pure projection. Once again, as far as like every part of like the Republican strategy goes, pure projection. What he is describing is literally what Republicans do. Republicans are those who use the court system to get their fucking radical and incredibly unpopular agenda through. And that's precisely what they're doing. It's not the Democrats who do that, it's the Republicans. And that's why a big part of the Republican strategy is literally fucking stacking the courts, man. Like, that's what they do. Why is it that they want to stack the courts if it wasn't for the fact that they utilize the court system to push for their insane agenda? Disgusting.
That we have elections every 2 years, and if they do this kind of stuff, in 2 years they'll pay a grievous price for it.
You know, Robert, he's not the only one calling this potentially crazy. Axios, this is hot off the presses headline this morning, Biden's radical economic agenda, and it's really digging into who he's assembling for his team here, with the expected nomination of Wall Street foe Gary Gensler as the new head of the SEC, Sherrod Brown, the incoming head of the Senate Banking Committee. Axios writes Biden's going to attempt to chart an economic policy that's visibly to the left of Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. If he succeeds, they're warning that your taxes are going to go up. Those regulations are going to be put back in place that significantly improve the state of the economy pre-pandemic. Are we going to see Joe Biden's economic policy left of Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, Robert?
So first, I just have to go back. Charlie couldn't be more wrong. Budget reconciliation was used by Trump for tax reform. So the idea that it's for small things is absurd. Now, just to go back
Joe
to
Biden and Bernie Sanders want to be like Donald Trump now? This is crazy.
Your facts were not accurate on budget reconciliation, just to be clear. They were wrong. Trump used it for taxes.
They were, though. But
okay. So just to be clear,
what is budget reconciliation used for?
Okay, answer the question.
With respect, budget reconciliations used all the time. With respect to the bill.
Yeah, what's up with fucking Republicans using budget reconciliation to fucking pass tax cuts? That's not like gigantic tax cuts. Or what's up with Republicans using budget reconciliation for literally whatever the fuck they want to? I didn't hear the rest of it. He got rolled. I'll run it back. But I just heard the budget reconciliation being used as a weapon. And it's so dumb. Like, Republicans literally only do that.
More wrong. Budget reconciliation was used by Trump for tax reform.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is.
So the idea that it's for small things is absurd. Now, just to go back
Joe
to
Biden and Bernie.
I mean, that's the absolute fucking cumstered and dumpstered position. Like, that person should not have a job after that. Like, if you get owned that hard on fucking Fox News of all places by like a person who I assume is from Boston. He does sound like he's from Boston. You can't come back. But that's Washington Times. Of course, if you are a writer for the Washington Times, like, it's basically a jobs program for fucking losers. So, you know, you'll always find a way. Dude, my editors have gone crazy. What is this title, bro? What are they doing? The editor, I was looking at the titles. I don't touch any of it nowadays. And it's obviously doing really well, so I don't want to, like, you know, fuck up whatever they're doing. And whatever they're doing is working, but what is this title, bro? Hey, they're doing something right. I know, but that's not good for, that's just not good for SEO, is it? You twerking in the next vid or something? Look at those fast cuts, though. And they go hard. I have a surprise for you guys, too, by the way. I have a Rust video coming out. From one of this community's very own vegan agitative propaganda ministers. No, not a campaign video. Actually, someone I think made a campaign video though. Where is it? Hold on. I just saw it in my DMs this morning earlier. I don't know where it is. They might have deleted it maybe. Where was it? Oh, it's him. Oh, he deleted. Oh, no, he made it again. He made a Hank Pecker campaign ad. Let's take a look. And by that, I mean, they are brave. They are truth tellers. Wait, what's up with my audio? Is that what I sound like? They are victims of divorce court. Much like another man who's a brave truth-telling patriot. Okay, we'll watch that in a second. Let's finish this video first.
Want to be like Donald
Because it's 2. I got to go and like prep for my debate at 3 p.m. Pacific in a little bit anyway. And I didn't do a lot of politics today, so I'm going to get back to politics later probably.
Not accurate on budget reconciliation, just to be clear. They were wrong. Trump used it for taxes.
They were, though. But
okay. So just to be clear.
I have a debate coming up in Rust. I'm running for mayor. Hank, not me. Hank Pecker is. Yeah, I forgot that y'all. Yeah, I have an upcoming debate. Hank Pecker does have an upcoming debate against that disgusting, highfalutin, big city lawyer, Kelvin Ballsworth. Yeah, Kelvin, lawless and ballless.
Okay,
Ballsworth.
Okay, answer the question.
With respect, budget reconciliations used all the time. With respect to the Build Back Better plan, we need infrastructure. We need a huge infrastructure package, and it should be bipartisan. Trump had, I don't know, 20 infrastructure weeks that never got anything done. It is the fastest multiplier of GDP and wage growth.
But Robert, go back to the point. Go back to the point that you're talking about how dire this economy is, how many people are out of work, how many struggling Americans there are. Those that are working are having a hard time making ends meet. And this administration's talking about raising taxes, Robert.
Just to be clear, they're not looking to raise anyone's taxes that makes over $400,000.
Got it.
Let me finish. If you make $800,000, your taxes go from 25 to 25.5%. And by the way, I'm not even sure that will pass.
Okay, so Charlie, I'll put the question I put to Robert because I'm running out of time. Are we going to see an economic policy from this incoming administration left of Bill Clinton and Barack Obama?
Yes. Yes, and this is exactly the problem with having somebody as president who never ran a campaign, who never said anything that he's going to do or wants to do. And I'm sure that if it were left up to Joe Biden probably wouldn't pursue some of this stuff, such as free health care for illegal aliens. But you have this coterie around him, and because he doesn't have a mandate, because he didn't run a campaign that said this is what I'm going to do, all of these people are going to rush in and take all their crazy ideas, like free health care for illegal aliens, and they're going to ram it through. And the only way they get it through is through improperly using something like budget reconciliation, because they can't get.
Okay, I'm running out of time. Hold on, Robert. Final question to you. Hold on.
It's just not right.
But answer one of my questions, because you didn't answer the last one. Final question, though. Is this Biden's plan or is this Bernie Sanders' plan? Because in addition to that, this administration is going to pursue $15 federal minimum wage. They're going to
But that was Biden's plan too. And also, that's not a... Bro, good luck. Good luck shitting on $15 minimum wage, by the way. I mean, I'm sure they will. I hope Republicans Republicans will. I hope Democrats will end up defending it instead of fucking cowering in fear as they normally do.
Strongly support the labor unions, which were two of the key pillars of Sanders' presidential campaign. Is this Bernie Sanders' plan or Biden's?
It's the Biden plan, and the Build Back Better plan is the Biden plan. You guys should read it. The idea that he didn't campaign on it, really, because Moody's, Wharton Economics, everyone said it was the best economic plan out there. I will send you the plan. You guys should put it out.
Robert, thank you for joining us. Charlie, good to see you. We'll have you back. Thank you.
Good to see you.
All right.
Lies. Okay, first of all, here are some campaign ads that were made for me.